In the late 1990s, there was an emerging market of compact portable devices that would eventually supplement or supplant some of the market share of the PDA business that was pioneered by Palm. Sharp was manufacturing, or had been in the business of manufacturing, ultra-portable computing devices for many years when they came out with this. Sharp is more famous for their Sharp Zorus line, which is a PDA with a full keyboard. Granted, you had to whittle your fingers down with an X-Acto knife in order to type on them. They were very popular for business travelers mainly, and just gadget lovers. Sharp is more well known in the consumer business, or consumer market, for their organizers, like the Sharp EL or YO electronic organizers. When Windows CE hit the scene in around 1996-7 or so, Sharp created their own Windows CE Ultra Portable. This is basically the great-great-granddaddy of the Microsoft Surface. Windows CE was designed to be an ultra-light version of Windows 95. It has far fewer features, but it is designed to be an embedded OS. It runs right off a chip, and the devices that run Windows CE would store information on flash memory. Flash memory is not a new concept. Back in those days, flash memory existed, but it was so expensive and so slow that you really couldn't use it for a desktop PC to store frequently accessed files in a way that made sense. It was just very slow. So, when Windows CE started to become more and more popular, manufacturers jumped on the bandwagon to create Windows CE Ultra Portables, which would bridge the gap between PDA and laptop. The Ultra Portable business, it expanded over the years into what became the Netbook business, or what we now know as netbooks. And now the netbooks are going away, and they're being replaced by convertible tablets. One notable example being the Microsoft Surface and the Lenovo Yoga Pad. So this is a device from 1999. It was released in late 98, or announced at least. And, in looking at it, I mean, it is a very useful little device. It's very limited. It has a Toshiba processor running at about 130 megahertz. So it could never compete with even the least expensive laptop or desktop of its time period. It's running Windows CE 2.11, and I don't know how much flash storage it has, but I believe it can be expanded using a storage card. Actually, they made quite a few of these cards back in the day. They were, that's just a blank. But they actually made PCM CAA memory cards that could be used as drive space. I've had them as big as 100 megabytes. And because this device was primarily designed for very, very light web use through a dial-up connection and probably heavier email and word processing and productivity use, you really didn't need that much storage. I mean, it wouldn't have been used as a full-featured laptop anyway. Anyone who bought a device like this would have used it in conjunction with a full-featured desktop or a laptop as well. I mean, these were primarily popular for business travelers, just like the PDAs that they kind of supplemented. And unfortunately, this is a non-working example. I've tried my best to get this thing working for this video. I had to make my own power supply using a connector off of a USB hub 5-volt adapter and an old 20-volt notebook adapter. The battery light flashes, it powers on, but that's all it does. The screen doesn't light up. As you can see, it obviously doesn't work. So I don't know what the issue is. I'm not even going to bother digging into it. I'm just going to probably recycle it. But anywho, this device would have been very, very handy in a time when a laptop weighed, 10 pounds or more. I think 5 pounds was more realistic in 1999. This thing probably weighs less than 2 pounds, maybe a pound. Very lightweight. But unfortunately, that's all I can tell you about it. I can't turn it on. It doesn't work. I'm going to let it sit and charge the battery for a little while and see what happens. I mean, you never know. It could come to life miraculously. But yeah, even the battery, it's been plugged in for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes now, and it hasn't sprung to life yet. But hey, you never know. Now, one of the benefits of a Windows CE device is they had no mechanical hard disk drives. Because it used flash storage, they were fairly rugged. I mean, you didn't have to worry about, a head crash, for example, if you were traveling on a bus, a train, or a plane, and something bumped and hit it or whatever. If it fell on the floor, it was more likely to survive than a full-featured laptop. Battery life would have been fairly decent on a device like this. I'm shooting in the dark here, and I'm going to say it probably got about 2 or 3 hours of battery life, maybe more. Because it has a touchscreen interface, it comes with a stylus, and you'll notice that there's a lack of trackpad or tracking nub or any pointing device whatsoever, and there's no place to plug one into. But it isn't completely useless. It does have an infrared port for transmitting data to and from a device, be it a laptop or a desktop with an IR interface. And it has what looks like a serial interface that would have used a proprietary connector. This connector looks a lot like the dongle connectors on older modems and Ethernet adapters. So it could have possibly had an Ethernet adapter accessory. Who knows? Underneath we have the memory board. This is actually the internal storage. I believe this is the flash storage, and I think I just figured out why it doesn't work. Well, maybe not. It looks like those contacts where that chip would be are mashed. Interesting. Not much else to say. It is missing this cover and missing the original power supply, but maybe I'll hang on to it and try to find another one. I don't know. I don't really need one, so I'm going to just probably send it to the recycler where it came from. But here's the modem jack. That's all I know. I couldn't, without any further digging, I couldn't find the complete specs on it. Basically, what I just told you is all I know. I actually did own a Windows CE portable at one point. It was a Compaq. I don't recall the model number, but if you Google Compaq Windows CE, you might find it. It was a cool little device. It was built in like '97, and it was about the size of probably about the size of this tea box, but about half the thickness. No, it was a bit bigger than that. Probably about the size of this multimeter, actually. And it featured a pen or a stylus interface, a full keyboard, tiny as hell, but it was still a full QWERTY keyboard. And it actually had a docking station with it with a serial interface. It transferred data to and from the host computer over a serial connection, so it was slow as hell. The reason I got rid of it is the battery died, and I couldn't get a new one. This was before Batteries Plus came to my area, and there was no battery shop around that could build a pack for it, so I just said the hell with it and I threw it away. Oh yeah, and one of my good friends actually locked it on me. If you attempt to log into the device more than like 20 times, it locks it down, and the only way to get in is to download an unlocking tool from Compaq. So I did get it unlocked, but the battery life never recovered, and hell with it. But it was really cool. I wish I could show it to you. But for that matter, I wish I could show you this one. I mean, this would be neat. I wanted to play with it. I was actually looking forward to this. And I mean, other than percussion repair or percussion therapy, where you whack it with a hammer, I really don't know what else to do with it. So I'm just going to probably send it right back to the recycling facility and get rid of it. So, we'll see. So thanks for watching, guys, and keep your eyes peeled for devices like this, because they may never be worth anything. They're really cool to show young people about how much technology has changed, and in the same sense, how much it hasn't changed over the years. There you go. Have a good time. Wait, what do I normally say? Until the next